training in and of itself won't attract women. It's the way that you train that will attract them. Have you ever noticed that some of the world's strongest men, they don't get talked a lot about by women, but the male influencers, male fitness models, they get talked a lot about and hyped up like crazy. So why is that? It's because they look totally different. And they look totally different because they train in a totally different way. So for a lot of the strong men, it's like, yeah, they're super strong, but unfortunately, a lot of them, they look a bit like a box. But that's not what we want to do. If we want to attract women, if we want to look very healthy and be like the most happy that we can possibly be when we look into that mirror, then we want what's called a V-taper shape. That's the best thing you can have as a man on the physique. That's like literally OP, is overpowered, bro. So the V-taper shape is basically that your body looks a bit like this. It looks like a bit like a V, where down here is the waist, and up here is the top of your shoulders. And then it looks kind of like this, right? And you've maybe seen some people where their body looks like this, or maybe even slightly like this, like an A shape. This is the worst shape for a man, like to have an A shape. You want a V shape. I have trained for a very long time in a way that gets, like, sculpts me this V-taper shape that is attractive and makes me feel super good having this specific type of physique. So I've trained this for a long time. And because I've trained this for a long time, I have so much experience in this specific thing right here. And if you want to learn from me and you want to take your fitness journey to the next level, you want to build that V-taper shape that attracts women, that gets you more respect, that makes you look super healthy and strong, you can click the link in the description if you want to. So the muscles that you need to train in order to get this V-taper shape and to get this, basically it's like you want to be big on top and then you want to be like slow, like slim and lean on your waist and with your abs. So basically the most important muscles for you to train to get this is these things, okay? Number one, broad shoulders. I cannot stress to you enough how important shoulders are, and specifically broad shoulders. Because I had times where, dude, I have bad genetics myself, but my shoulder genetics are quite good. So for me, before I had really any like significant chest and back muscles and lats and stuff, I got kind of this V-taper shape by just covering up the fact that I don't have a lot of chest and a lot of back with my, at the time, quite big shoulders. So that kind of covered it up, because the shoulders is going to be the end of, like, that's going to be the broadest, the biggest, up here in the upper chest level on the shoulders. So this is super important to have broad shoulders. That's number one. The second thing is you want to have good upper chest, because that makes you like, okay, in the upper part, then you're big, you're strong, you're muscular on top, right? And the third thing is lats. Lats is basically back muscles that are like, some people call them wings. They're like under here. So it's like, it really, when you train those, you really get like this type of shape right here. So it makes a very good transition from the waist and just going slowly up, like into the the big part where it's the shoulders and the upper chest and stuff. So it connects it very, very well. So that's super important as well. And then you train. You can train for lats, and you can train for just overall back. So that are two different type of trainings, and I'll come into the exercises you need to do to get this whole thing in just a second. I'm just going to name the things first. The fourth thing is you want to have a slim waist, and you want to have abs. I don't need to explain this much. Everyone knows that like a good six pack is very attractive, and it's like every guy wants a six pack, right? So you make the guys jealous as well, and you attract the girls. Six pack is very like, it just makes you look healthy, lean, strong, capable, and you are when you have six pack. And so the fifth thing is traps. Traps is basically this up here. So it's this like small muscle here that, if you have some of that, it's just, you have big shoulders and big upper chest, and then you also have like some big on this area right here. It's also big. So if you don't have it, it can look quite like, it can look a bit weird. You got your neck, and then it's like nothing here, and then it comes big shoulders. It kind of looks a bit weird. So you want that as well to even elevate the broadness and the bigness in your upper side of the upper body. And then there's a little bonus thing. It's like, okay, you want to have big arms, but that's not going to matter anything in the V-taper shape. And the V-taper shape is the most important, which you should focus definitively the most on. You also want big muscles. You want good biceps and stuff, but it's not as important actually as these other things. But I'm going to just go over it right now for you so you understand. If you want big arms, you got to train your triceps. And if you want the big bicep, you want the sculpt thing, obviously, then you train the biceps, because the tricep is 2/3 of the arm and the bicep is 1/3 of the arm. So if you want to have big arms, like if you're a skinny guy, then I recommend everyone to focus more on triceps than to focus on biceps, because you want to fill out your shirt. You want to have a big, broad arm, right? A good bicep without a big arm, with like kind of skinny arms, but you have somewhat a good bicep, it's nothing. It's dead. As soon as you have a big arm and then you got the bicep, that is really good. So now I'm going to cover the exercise that you can do for each and every one of these body parts. So let's start off with the broad shoulders. What you do for this, it's very simple. You can do lateral raises. So it's very simple. You can even do it with a cable if you want. Then you get the full stretch, like the full pressure on the muscle for the whole entire time. So that might even be slightly better because you train it the whole way. For upper chest, you want to do incline bench press or incline dumbbell press, right? You want to have two dumbbells, and you want to have these benches in the gym and put it on like an incline, like a 45 degrees, maybe 40, 35, a slight incline. That's when you target the upper chest, not just any part of the chest, but like actually the upper chest. So then you do that for chest, and always on chest is very important. You want to push out your chest and back with the shoulders when you're doing a chest exercise. Okay, so for lats, for these the broad back, then you want to do wide grip pull downs. So you're doing like these back pull downs, and you're having wide grip, very important. Not any shallow grip, very wide, because the wide grip, that's what really makes the lats gets activated. That's when you train the lats. And very important here is when you're taking these lat pull downs, you don't want to be stacking up weights. You want to just rather take a little less weights than a little too much, because as soon as you start like, you know, just like dragging it like in a crazy way, and you're like start not doing the rep clean, you're going to lose out on a lot of muscle, especially on this exercise right here. Because a lot of people just slingshot it back. And when you're doing that, it's like you're ruining everything on the lats. Then you're just training back. You're not training the lats. So it's very important to be very straight up. Don't lean much back. Like lean as little as possible back and just do a controlled rep down. So that's very important for that one. When it comes to the waist, there is just do some abs. I have a training machine that is so good for abs in my gym, but maybe many gyms don't have it. I don't know, but it's this one right here. This one is so good. It trains the whole six pack. So the lower parts of the pack and upper parts of it. It's very good. If not, you can just do some leg raises, or you can do some sit-ups. For traps, you want to do crunches. So that is just holding 2 dumbbells, and then you kind of do an exercise like, I don't know. You just act like you're gonna show I don't know to someone, right? Then what would you do? Okay, I'll put the shoulders like this. So that's the way you train it. So guys, this is 5 exercises to get a V-taper shape, and 5 exercises a week, that's super little. And you should train a bit more. You can train maybe chest, another exercise on chest or on shoulders or something. But to get the V-taper shape, this is only what you need. And that's something that a lot of people miss out on. So you should really not miss out on something that isn't that hard to actually train. If you're going to the gym anyways, why aren't you doing like getting specifically broad shoulders? And why aren't you getting your upper chest? Why just middle and lower chest? Right? So I hope this makes sense. Guys, I've trained for a long time and I've seen some great improvements in my physical shape. And I believe I have a top tier physique now because I've trained in this way. I've trained in a way where I get my V-taper shape and I get bigger and broader in my upper body, which is the most important thing to train for men. I have a course that's linked down below in the description if you want to check that out. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.